Hey y'all, hey, welcome to But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. I'm your host, G Dazzle. Some of y'all know me as G Daz, but some of y'all just mostly call me G, your girl, your friend, your sis who's here to keep it real with you. Now, if this is your first time joining, go on ahead and subscribe. Subscribe at YouTube at G plus Dazzle and follow the show on socials at But Also underscore podcast. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, make sure you lock in there as well. Now, this podcast is all about diving into life's moments that don't always fit into a neat little box because life isn't always black and white. Here, we talk about the gray, those yes and moments where two things can exist at the same time. Like, Black history is heavy, but also, Black culture is undefeated. So, if there's a moment where you feel yourself saying, dang, G, you just gonna read my life like that? Yes. Yes, I am. Because we are all living the same life, boo. And that's okay. So whether you're out here trying to figure it all out or just trying to make it through today, I got you. So let's talk about the highs, the lows, and all of the messy moments in between. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So this year marks the 100th Black History Month. 100. Yes, I said 100. That's not just a celebration. That is a statement, y'all. Like, for real, for real. Because the fact that we even needed a Black History Month means that history tried to forget us, okay? For 100 years, we've said no. You will not erase us. You will not minimize us. You will not reduce us to footnotes. And yet, even with that weight, Black culture has never stopped evolving. Okay? We've never stopped creating, never stopped influencing, never stopped expanding what was possible. The duality. Now, that's the real but also. Because we're not even going to talk about how they try to take Black history out of the schools and the textbooks, trying to really erase the things that we built, the culture that we've built, the America that we've built. But y'all do not get me started. That is a soapbox for another day. But speaking about that, but also, let's zoom out for a minute to the world stage because not only are we breaking barriers and continuing to shatter glass ceilings, we are taking over in so many other areas, okay? Like, for example, the Olympics. Even when I think about gymnastics right now, yes, we still got Simone Biles, the GOAT, setting the standard out here, period, but she's not out here standing alone. Like, y'all remember in the Spring Olympics, we got Jordan Childs competing at elite levels. We even got Shalice Jones holding it down internationally. Like, this ain't even a moment. This is this next generation. And I loved every minute of it. I loved how unapologetically Black they were during all of their performances, from the grills on the floor mat to them biting the metal like, putting that piece of metal in your mouth because we did that, okay? Standing on business always. And track and field, Noah Lyles out here giving the people what they want and talking his trash, but backing it up. Like, come on now. Come on. And even winter sports. Now, y'all know with winter sports, usually that's not a playground for us because Black folks, we don't like to be cold. I know I don't like to be cold. I don't do things ups in the mountains with the snow tops and the things with the Everest and things. I don't do it. However, we are breaking barriers there as well. Okay? Because let's really get into it. Because we got people like Chloe Kim, who is dominating snowboard. And then Aaron Jackson making so much history in speed skating, y'all. Speed skating out here crushing records. I said, because look, the fact of the matter is anything that we step into, we always gonna not only just dominate, but add a little seasoning to it along the way. Okay. We're gonna do it with finesse and style. As only we know how to do. And these ain't just participation trophies that these people are getting. These are podium finishers, okay? Standing at the peak of the podiums. Every time we enter a space that wasn't built for us, that didn't have us in mind, baby, we don't tiptoe. We compete. We excel. We redefine what that sport looks like. And that matters because somehow there is a black kid somewhere watching and thinking, oh, shoot, that's for me too. You're damn right it is. You're damn right it is. And I love it. I love seeing our faces in spaces that we're not typically in and just continuing to expand the bound of our greatness because it's beautiful, right? Right? Man, and even when I think about it, it's not even just athletics. The range of where we are tapping in, if we really zoom out and just look at it, blows my mind, even in the digital spaces. Like you got folks like who? We got Kai Sennett with Streamers University. Literally, this baby taking something that he was doing for fun, just naturally being himself, that became something lucrative, and not only did he just hold that for himself, he opened the door. He spreaded the joy because Kai realized there's enough tables and chairs that everybody can pull up a seat to eat. And I love it. I love it. And as crazy as this next person is, I'm still going to give him his props. And that's Drewski, y'all. Now, Drewski be out here doing some wild stuff. The boy is a fool. However, we not gonna sleep on the fact that even with his style of comedy, relatable across all races and shocktainment that he's doing, still ain't, breaking a barrier in its own. This brother has found himself in so many uncharted territory spaces with his reels, where every time he comes out with something on the TikTokies, because y'all know that is my favorite point of reference, where it's just like, damn, Drewski, like, I mean, is this got to be illegal somewhere, or this has to be somewhat offensive? How? I can't prove it yet, but it's got to be. But yet, the people and the masses are still rocking with it. Now, you may have a select few who give Drewski a side eye, but a majority of them are laughing with that brother because no matter what, he is still breaking barriers in his own little way. Okay, so shout out to Drewski. But even on the serious side of things, even when we think about politics, right? We got leaders like Hakeem Jeffries navigating national leadership. Okay. Raphael Warnock holding spaces in the Senate. Now, we got these frontline soldiers fighting every day in a fight that we know is not an easy one because, yes, America is still ghetto. Y'all know that's been a common theme. America's ghetto. It is. We on season 3 of America being ghetto. And, these people, hey, are doing the best they can working with what they got. Okay. So big ups because we know it's not easy, that fight that you're fighting and those battles you're battling at all. But we thank you and appreciate you for it because you're still fighting for us and still having that representation in spaces that mean the most, right? Because if we don't have it there, what can we do? We got to keep fighting. So let's please, y'all, let's support these people. But even when I think about it further, even if it's in entertainment, whether that's policy, that's influence, the governance, it's layered, right? It's not just like one aesthetic. It's not one industry. It's not even one lane because Black excellence isn't monolithic. Look at me using my college educated words. Come on, degrees. Come on now. But it's multidimensional. And even when you think about that, let's talk about it a little bit more. Let's talk culture because for years, it's the slang, the words we speak, the how we talk, the rhythms, the moves and grooves that we do, the dances, the silhouettes, the seasoning, the extra spices that we add to it, the remix cultures, the way something starts organically, even whether it's starting from a dorm room, at a cookout, in a group chat, and then all of a sudden it's global, taking over. It's quote unquote trending. We don't audition for culture. We originate culture. Okay. We are originators of culture. And that's why it hits differently because it's not just a focus group, it's lived. Okay. Everything that we do, even if we do it first, you know, it's something that people then take, and when it becomes mainstream or popular, all of a sudden it's quote unquote new. Y'all, I'll never forget. I can't remember what year it was. I'm gonna say early 2000 something something something. But regardless of the year, Kim Kardashian came out, like there was this spread in some magazine, the tabloids, whatever the media things were, where Kim Kardashian was clocked sporting a look. She had on an outfit, and the thing that people were going crazy over was her hair. Now, what was the style that Kim K was rocking? Cornrows, braids. That's it. Something that the culture has been doing for years, that our ancestors have been doing for years. But what did the mainstream media call it? Boxer braids. Boxer braids. What? Like, what? What the hell is a boxer braid? But they're like, oh my gosh, Kim K and her, this new look, boxer braids are taking over. Are they? Are they? Because as far as I'm concerned, them cornrows, them braids, they been here. They been here. They not new to this. They true to this, right? Because once again, going back to our ancestry, those braids, those cornrows, those were our history. Those were our maps. Those were our communications. Those were the things that led us to freedom, how we communicated. That was special between us. Could nobody take that, especially when everything else was trying to be taken away from us? Not trying to be, was took from us. Our history, our ancestors, where we come from, our heritage was snatched away. And then all of a sudden, things that we created for ourselves, they try to take that too. So boxer braids, come on now, come on. But that's just an example of things that we do that all of a sudden is the trend. And even when we get into with our language, what do they call it now? Like, me using the word slang, that probably dates me a little bit. It puts me in my true millennium bag. However, I think the new way they phrase it now is AAVE, the what is it? African American vernacular everywhere. I'm probably butchering that. So don't hold me to it. I'm going to look it up later. But when I see the acronym, I know what it's referring to. And that is how we talk. Even when you look at these trends and audios that you hear on the TikTokies, the social media, there's always some sort of, Black tonality to it. And even then, more so when you think about other communities and cultures who utilize it, they be putting a little extra funk on that AAVA, where it's like, hold on, not too much. It's borderline. It's borderline. Like, catch yourself. But that's just how it is. Even the way that we talk, we dress, the way that we dance, all of that has been borrowed, and there's been parts of it that has been gentrified at some point. But either way it goes, we are the originators of that culture and the cultivators of making a whole lot of something out of nothing, because that is what we have. That has been what has been embedded in us. And even when we take a little and make it into a lot, into a fortune, no matter what it is, baby, it is beautiful. Okay. It is beautiful. And with everything happening right now, because like I said, America is still continually ghetto. Joy, even Black joy, hits different. Because for Black joy, joy feels rebellious. It's like saying, you will not reduce me to just struggle, okay? You will not reduce me to struggle. I will laugh, laughing loud in public, throwing a cookout like the rent ain't due, just a trail riding and dancing, line dancing the night away, okay? Breaking a good sweat, busting my where them fans at fans, hitting with that 1, 2, 3, click, clack, pop, and having a good old time, okay? Line dancing at the weddings like we invented rhythm, because we did. We did. And that's not random at all. That is legacy refusing to dim. Okay? Nobody puts baby in a corner. Now only the true will understand that reference. But nobody puts baby in a corner. You cannot cage this bird. You can't do it. You can't do it. And like I said, that legacy refusing to dim, from spirituals to jazz to soul to hip hop, from block parties to stadium tours. Joy has been our declaration for years that we are still here, no matter how hard you try to get rid of us, no matter how hard you try to erase us, no matter how hard you try to water us down, no matter how hard you try to control, alt, and delete us. Baby, we are still here. Like Antoine Fisher said, I'm still standing. I'm still strong, okay? You can't take our joy no matter how hard you try. And I love every aspect of the resilience that we have for it in protecting our joy. And here's what I really want to sit in. We keep referencing Black history like it's behind glass, but it is breathing, taking deep, deep breaths from the chest, inhaling from the diaphragm right now. The athletic training at the 5 a.m., the teacher pouring into kids despite budget cuts, because baby, that's a whole nother soapbox for a whole nother episode for a whole nother day. Shout out to the educators out in the world. That Black history even taps into the organizer pushing legislation, the small business owner betting on themselves, the creator building an audience from scratch. That is history in motion, baby. Motion. The grandparents' migration story. That was chapter 1. The ancestors coming over. Chapter 1. Your parents navigating, doing what they had to do, scratching and surviving. Chapter 2. Navigating corporate spaces, fighting when they barely even wanted to recognize us and give us fair pay or the correct position that we are owed. Another chapter, building something new. We're not even going to get on Black inventors, all of the things they have invented for America and for the world in general, and the things that we utilize every day. We're not spectators of Black history. We are the contributors of Black history, back then, today, and tomorrow. And 75 years from now, someone is going to study this era and say, dang, that was a shift. Like, even though it was the 100th, it was still a shift. Like, we have made so many amazing strides. And we realize that we are living in it. Now, granted, because America is still ghetto, we still got a couple of battles ahead of us, but baby, we're not going to take away or diminish from the shoulders that we are standing on to continue the fight to break those barriers and shatter those glass ceilings. So, either way, honey, it's beautiful, right? So, as we close out the 100th Black History Month, let's not just repost the quotes. Because the purpose of Black History Month is also to educate, where you highlight those things, those creators, those inventors, those tastemakers, those change agents, those trailblazers, those that are striving and continually making Black history in areas and spaces where our faces are normally not at. We share those moments. We educate properly because, like I said, we know they ain't getting it in the schools. So that Black history sharing, that Black history passing down, that comes from us. So we still have to do our part to continue to share that Black history of today, tomorrow, and yesterday. So let's honor that, honor the range, and continue to protect the joy. Support the ecosystem. Celebrate the wins. Call out the first. Remember the fight. We can't forget the fight because that's where it all stems from. We can't forget that. So we have to honor it and give it its due diligence because Black history may be heavy, but also Black culture, baby, that's still undefeated. And I said it once and I will say it 1,000 times over again until infinity and beyond. Baby, I choose to be Black in every lifetime. In every lifetime. So, if this episode resonated with you, make sure that you subscribe and you hit that like button and follow the show everywhere at @but_podcast. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you are locked in there too. And also make sure you follow us on the socials as well at G plus Dazzle so you never miss a moment. So you can continue to key along right along with us. Don't just watch. We are a community over here because the But Also crew and those that been rocking with me know where that came from. The But Also crew, we does it. We gets it done, baby. We does it. So with that, I ask you, what part of Black culture right now that just feels unstoppable to you? Because, baby, I can list it all. But All in all, I want to make sure, let's close this month out strong, proud, and joyful. So, with that, all right, y'all. Until next time, keep laughing, keep smiling, keep embracing all of the moments, the good, the messy, and everything else in between. All right, y'all. I'll holla.